things in college football that are just to the core American. I got one for us to kick us off here. Paul Bunyan's axe. The fact that Minnesota and Wisconsin play for this it's an American folklore hero, fictitious character to my understanding, and we play a football game for his tool that he uses to chop down trees with his blue ox. I absolutely love it. I love everything about it. Is it a little bit quirky? For sure. Is it weird? Absolutely. Is it American? To me, I think it is right down the middle on the fairway and on the green.
All right, so listen, I hate to be a pessimist and cynical about this, but this is one of my firmest beliefs. It is so weird that they're not one but two trophies made up after a fictional character in the same conference. If you ever, we should do a separate show on this. I might just force you to do it. I sent you the thing about the Old Oaken Bucket.
Yeah.
The Big Ten trophy games, it is one of the weirdest and funniest, it was like everyone was just bored because the Depression was happening. They didn't have cable or the internet. They're like, we got to do something. Why don't we get just an old wooden bucket? Michigan State and I think it's Indiana play for the old brass spittoon. That, you know how that came about? A student who was a senior at Michigan State went to an antique shop, bought it for $2, and then took it to I guess the administration. He's like, here's the trophy I made, and then just lied to him. They're like, okay, that's great, awesome, that's what we'll do. It was just something he picked up from the store. That was it.
Nobody
it was
on
when
their
Frank
phones.
the Tank in Old School, he brings the bread maker and he's like, you already have this model? You have this exact one. Okay, yeah, absolutely. It is. Oh man, I could go on for a minute about that. I will say, the thing that I do love about those rivalry and trophy games is just how stupid it is, but it's still a big deal. It's still a big deal. Also, not a lot of thought going into carrying out the logistics of that. That Old Oaken Bucket game, they put a 2-inch pendant on a chain that is supposed to fit inside of this little wooden bucket. It's ridiculous. I'm on a rant here,
I love it. I love it.
With it, but I don't know if you are.
I love it. Yeah. Let's hear what you got. What you got though in response or in addition to some of these rivalry trophies.
How about the Egg Bowl on Thanksgiving night? Now it's not going to be Thanksgiving this year, but you want to talk about just one of my favorite American traditions, which is overeating until eating so much that you end up not liking your extended family. That, and that is what the Egg Bowl is. To its core, it is. I have spent too much time around this group of people tonight that I rarely see, and now I hate them. And we get to see that every single year with pecan pie and turkey, and it's the best. So that's one of my favorites.
That's a good one, man. The Egg Bowl. I'm a little disappointed it's not going to be on Thanksgiving night. So I guess now you go to whatever your next tradition was or is going to be. Maybe new traditions will be birthed from that, but. I mean, the fact that it's in state too, and the level of hate that those two schools have for each other, and they used to get their own day more or less to have that rivalry. It's special, very very specially American. Here's one for you: special teams. And from a 30,000 foot view, you're like special teams. Yeah, I guess it's a third of the game if you ask certain people. We have in kickoff 11 grown men running full speed in plastic armor to go knock the ever-living daylight out of the other 11 grown men, preferably the one with the football. That is red-blooded American. That is testosterone levels at its peak. That is, just the idea for the kickoff in itself to me is just hilarious of how we got to that moment. I was someone who played a lot of special teams in college, loved it, I thought it was great. It was the most high adrenaline experience that I had playing college football, and that's saying something when you have give or take a single digit number of thousand people at your games. We weren't playing in front of Neyland or anything crazy like that. Special teams, extremely American. I'm here for it, and I love it.
I just love the fact that it's a giant, super aggressive version of Red Rover.
Yes,
that is. And also, I'm just assuming that's how wars were fought before they started doing the whole weird thing. It's everyone line up in a single file line, and we're going to take turns shooting at each other until the entire side is gone. What is that? No, I'm going to duck, man. This is crazy. How about this? I'll give you one. Okay. How How about conference names having zero regard for logic or facts?
I love
Like,
it.
listen, Christopher Columbus got here, sailed to the wrong place, and then was like, no, I'm not wrong. You're wrong. This is what your nationality is now. The Big Ten has 18 teams, and it's so funny because they just keep expanding, and they're staying with the Big Ten, and I hope they stay with it forever, to be honest. But it's hilarious to me that we have the Big Ten and the Big 12 that are half the name is numerical, and no part of it adds up at all.
It's like whenever you put the wrong name on the paper, or you label your name tag, whenever you write something in permanent ink and you can't undo it, you're just like, this is what it is now. Like your name was Gary
name?
with two Y's or with two R's. It's like, well, it's REY now, brother. Like I don't know what to tell you. Like, this is on you. This is now your problem. I love it.
Is there a worse feeling as an adult when you go to a doctor's office or somewhere you have to fill out a bunch of paperwork, and the very first rectangle where it says write your name? I feel like half the time I write Chris and it's last name. I'm like, oh God, I have to start all over.
Last name's Chris now.
Stupid. Right? Yeah, exactly.
Done.
Exactly.
Done deal. That's awesome. You got any more? We could go back and forth here for a while. You have any more that you wanna let the people know about when it comes to these American college football traditions, or just specifically American things about college football?
I will say, love the Army-Navy game. That's
Beautiful.
always super special. I love that we're incorporating the American flag into so many different jerseys. I love the fact that we get a full weekend every single year for Veterans Day, especially, where Clemson does something, and I know Ole Miss did something last year. I just feel like that stuff matters. Or just honestly, man, I get chills just now, seeing some white walk-on with number 36 that will never see the field run out of a tunnel with an American flag, or Virginia Tech making that mile-and-a-half long trek before they go out to enter Sandman. I love that. I love that. Flyover at the Rose Bowl. There's few things that are more American, I feel than that. So that's the serious one. The other one, listen, they don't get enough credit. People are always dogging on them or not thinking about them at all, and that's not fair. How about just the Attitude and Hustle Award for the Vanderbilt Commodores?
Hey.
I mean, playing through a half-built stadium, just, no one's there. They had a single file walk storming of the field 2 years ago against Florida. But, I mean, they don't have a scoreboard. They're holding it up by cranes. They're doing construction in the end zone while getting beat by 50. And they just, a never give up attitude is something we can all strive to achieve.
Dude, I love that you mentioned Vandy, because my take that I've had here for the better part of the last few years is what's it going to take for Vanderbilt to kind of right this ship and market themselves as Nashville's college football team? And maybe they already are, but I'm like, what is stopping a school like Vanderbilt? And I guess maybe you say geographic location because you're not in the state of Texas, but what Austin is to University of Texas, that recruiting tool, I'm like, why can't Nashville be that for Vandy? So, I mean, they're down bad right now. I will say this. I am hammering with a sledgehammer, with a jackhammer. Over 2.5 wins, baby. Let's pay for some Christmas presents. Let's lock in. I got 3 layups
Vandy
on there.
in September, they're world beaters in September. I love that. I love that.
I'm all about it. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.